We're back here in Gettler Stadium. Both these teams going back and forth as we just saw a penalty shot that was called on the Bearcats that eliminated their offensive push. But now here come the Cougars on a push of their own. A cross goes over everyone's hands, and Houston still controls it. 27:55 to go in the first half. Both these teams have struggled offensively so far today. Only, I believe, one shot by either team on goal so far. So Rexford sends it over. Cincinnati controls it again. 27 minutes to go in the first half here at Gettler. 0-0 tied between the Bearcats and the Houston Cougars here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And now good defensive play right there by Oobs. Cincinnati controls it at midfield again. Ellie Flower controls it on the far sideline, trying to have an offensive push. She gets to the center. She gets it inside to Sadalski. Sadalski has it tipped away by a Houston defender. Sadalski put a shot on goal, but it went far right. And the Bearcats still making a bit of an offensive push.
Aggressive from the Bearcats early in this game. First 13 minutes gone, but we've seen plenty of shots from everyone on the team.
So the ball's in play. Cincinnati controls it. Sadalski tries to get it through. Houston controls it, though, right in front of us here on our near sideline. Falks gets it all the way back to the Houston goalkeeper, Manning. Manning to Johnson. On the sideline, Houston controlling it at midfield, but now Cincinnati wins it back for a second. Houston gets it back. They have it at midfield, and now they are on a bit of an offensive push. Trying to get the through ball all the way up to Jimison, but stolen away by the Bearcats once again. And the ball sent in, but Houston will control it again. Passes it all the way over to Reza for Houston. Moore controls it for the Cougars. Push down, and a foul is going to be called. So now a free kick for the Cougars. Here are 25 to go in the first half. Julian Moore, the sophomore midfielder, was the one that got fouled on the play, but it looks like it'll be Alexis Folks who will take the free kick for the Cougars. So both teams gather inside the Cincinnati box. Free kick is sent in. They're looking for a chance, but it goes all the way past everyone and out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Cincinnati. They were looking for Ivana Jimison, the sophomore out of Carlton, Texas, for possibly an offensive push for the Cougars, but now Cincinnati has it once again on their own end. Ellie Flowers sends it back. Cincinnati's just controlling it, controlling the tempo of the game so far. Houston's back line, though, gathers the ball after a long through ball by Cincinnati. And now here comes Houston on our near sideline. Middle of the field, Alexis Folks controls it all the way over to Anna Reza for Houston. And now a bit of a push, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Cincinnati throw-in. No teams have just been getting any offense going so far in the first half. It just seems like we've had 30 throw-ins.
Absolutely. We haven't seen either team be able to break a defense yet. The Bearcats have been able to work in Cougar territory plentifully in this entire game. Cougars are finally able to break something and have possession in Bearcat territory just for a little bit.
I will say Cincinnati has been getting a lot more of an offensive push by their offense. Houston hasn't gotten any shots on goal so far, but now they have it at midfield. They'll send it in for Jimensa. Seemed like there might have been a question for a foul there, but Cincinnati will control it. Getting up to Ellie Flower, but the ball goes over her head, and Manning will control it for the Cougars with 23 minutes to go. So middle of the field, Whitcraft sends it up all the way to Reza on the far sideline. She tries to get a push. Jimison got pushed down again, but seemed like it must have been a bit of a flop. No call by the official. Rexford has it for Cincinnati once again. Both teams kind of just in a stalemate right now. Just passing it back and forth, trying to get a push. But both defenses so far have played well, not allowing for anything. Cincinnati trying to get it once again, but Manning will get the free possession of the ball. She'll pick it up for the Cougars. No substitutions really for each team so far in this first half, which is a bit interesting. Cincinnati has used on average about 7 or 8 substitutes each game so far in the 2024 season. Houston trying to get a bit of a push, but it gets stolen away again by a Bearcats defender. Bastion sends it back to Swingle. And a Broering on that back line for Cincinnati. Almost got stolen away there. A bit of a dangerous pass by Cincinnati. Now a bit of a push by the Houston defense once again. They've been pretty aggressive in this first half. You wonder how long they can stay this aggressive without getting too gassed. Good pass by Sadalski, who couldn't quite get it to Bastion. Ball is sent out of bounds by Manning. It'll be a Cincinnati throw-in on Houston's side of the field. Just over 20 minutes to play in this first half. Still 0-0. Bearcats out shooting Houston 4-0 so far in this first half. Now Sadalski tries to get the throw-in. She'll send it in. Ellie Flower was the one she was looking for, but it goes all the way over. She'll possess it on the far sideline. Back to Rhea. And dumps it off to Flower. So now a bit of an offensive push. Good pass. Here comes Felton inside the box. The shot is saved by Manning. Good shot there by the freshman out of Michigan. 5th shot for the Bearcats. That was the best one by far on the day. But it went right into the arms of Manning, the redshirt freshman for Houston. So now a bit of energy from the crowd as Cincinnati tries to look to continue this offensive push. On our near sideline now, Oops has it. Was looking for Basha, but now stolen away by Houston. And now a Houston player is down, grabbing that right knee after that play. She seems to be fine, though, as she starts to get to her feet.
Juliet Moore.
Yeah, it's Juliet Moore out of Dallas, Texas. Seemed like she may have gotten kicked by a UC defender, maybe. Maybe they would have banged knees, but it was a quick injury. She's right back to her feet. Folks back to take the free kick. She'll send it into the box, and it goes all the way over once again. Second time we've seen that from a free kick by Folks, and Anna Rexford will have a goal kick.
We've seen the possession really stay with the Bearcats throughout the first 20 minutes of play. Not much action for the Cougars until now, where they've had 2 chances recently, but the Bearcats offense has just been able to work through the defense of the Cougars.
Still no shots on goal for the Cougars today, as Casey was mentioning. Defense for Cincinnati has played pretty well to this point. As we just get to the 20-minute mark here in this first half. Ball was deflected out of bounds. Oops was trying to find Sadalski on our far sideline, but Oops will throw it in. And now some substitutes for Cincinnati. So Vienne Spalding will come in for Rhea, as well as Laura Zimbarvia will come in for Cincinnati. So 2 new substitutions, maybe for some fresh legs. Ball was sent in, and Manning will pick it up easily. So Houston tries to start something offensively. They've just been getting shut down completely by the Cincinnati defense. They have only scored 1 goal in Big 12 play so far through 5 matches. So it is kind of a rarity when they find the back of the net, but still no shots on goal at all. Miscommunications there, as Juliet Moore sent it out of bounds. She was looking for Lancy Gonzalez to try to have a push. Cincinnati, though, once again controls it. Sends it back to Anna Rexford. A bit of a pressure, though, by Houston. Good move, and another Houston defender is down on the play. And now a through ball. Spalding tried to get through for maybe an offensive push, but Houston gets it back once again. They control it at midfield. Through ball cut off by Carly Oobs, though, and Cincinnati will control it again. Houston continuing to pressure the ball, but they have not gotten it inside the Cincinnati box at all, And this will be a throw-in, though, for the Cougars on the Cincinnati side of the field. So Anna Reza will throw it in for the Cougars on our near sideline. Cincinnati quickly clears out of the box, though, to midfield. Houston will dump it back into their back line where they will possess it. Whitcraft gets it over to Kaiser. Stolen quickly away, though, by Cincinnati. Spalding over. Smith controls it back to Bastion. Bastion tries to get a through ball to Ellie Flower, but it goes way over her head and right into the arms of the Houston goalkeeper. That will possess the ball once again.
We've continued to see the Bearcats work it up the field with perfect passing, able to move everyone around and really stay in that triangle formation and work throughout the Cougars' defensive ways and make something happen almost every single time.
They've done a good job at possessing the ball, but there's been a couple of those through balls where they're looking for some of the Cincinnati strikers that just have not seemed to hit the mark. And I feel like that's going to be the way Cincinnati can get on the board today, is if they can get some good passes inside of the Houston box to try to get a goal past the redshirt freshman. But now Houston, once again, controls it at midfield. Folks has it for Houston. And now we have a bit of a push for the Cougars inside the box. Cincinnati was looking for offsides, but Houston had it for a second, but quickly stolen away by Spalding. She gets it up to Ellie Flower, but the offsides flag will go up. She was offsides just by about 2 steps. So Houston will get the ball right back. Cincinnati trying to make a run. It just seems like Houston's game plan is just to keep the Cincinnati offense in front of them. They haven't really seen to give much up on that back line. They're dropping about 3 or 4 every single time Cincinnati starts to make a push. They're not really possessing the ball much, but they're not really letting Cincinnati get inside their own zone.
A lot of spread out passing from the Cougars, trying to make something happen on offense, but neither team is letting them break down the wall that they have built at the beginning of this game.
I agree. They've really been spreading Cincinnati out so far, and even though, like you said earlier today, as here's a push for Cincinnati, stolen away though by Houston, they're possessing the ball for most of the game, but they just haven't really seemed to have one really, really good offensive preserve. Now Houston had a chance to go for a run, but quickly Anna Rexford scoops it up. Sophia Weber was on the pursuit for the Cougars. She's been all over that front line for Cincinnati. Cincinnati has about 3 or 4 back as well, but Houston kind of playing an interesting formation. They only really have one striker up at the top of the field. They're dropping everyone else back, not really allowing for an offensive run. This ball gets across the Houston box, the 18-yard mark, but another save for Houston. She'll send it away over to midfield. 14 minutes to play in this first half. Smith had it for a second. Houston, though, controlling it momentarily. Lancey Gonzalez has it for the Cougars. Gonzalez gets it up, and there's Weber once again. She'll send it in for Houston, and the first shot on goal is saved by Anna Rexford. Weber got free for a momentarily. It was not that hard of a shot, though, and an easy save by the grad student, Anna Rexford, who has been very, very good between the posts for the Cats so far this season. Cincinnati making a push. Shadolski has it. She'll dump it off. She was looking for Oobs on that far sideline, but it goes out for a kick. And now some substitutions for both teams. Cincinnati, Anna Barbara and Ashlyn Bassinger will come in. And Houston does a bit of a hockey line substitution. They will take out 5 people on the substitution. Ellie Flower will go out as well as Bastion for Cincinnati. Ellie Flower, one of the leading scorers on the team, hasn't really gotten through, as she'll go out for the rest of this first half. Cincinnati controlling it, though, in the Houston zone. They'll have another throw-in. 13 minutes to play. Throwing into the box. Houston a bit of it scrambling on their defense. Cincinnati trying to get it through over to Sadulski, but it gets cleared away. It'll be another Cincinnati throwing. Oops throws it up. Headed away. Both teams kind of going back and forth here right on the Houston side of the field, but now Houston will control it momentarily. Weber trying to make something happen for the Cougars in midfield. Poked away though, and Cincinnati will maintain possession once again. Here comes Cincinnati. They're sending 6 up now on the attack. A shot on goal, blocked away though by a Houston defender on that back line. Another shot on goal. The ball is free, and it gets sent out. That was another great opportunity for Cincinnati. Went right off of the goalkeeper's hands, and it was almost easy pickings and leftovers right there for Ashlyn Bassinger, the new substitute who just checked into the game, but a good defense, though, by the Houston back line.
Just checking into the game. She's bringing that energy off the bench, trying to motivate her players to put one in the back net with 11:53 left here in the first half. 0-0 still the score in Gettler Stadium.
You love to see that, especially coming in for Ellie Flower, one of the leaders on that offense. Smith will send the second corner of the day for UC into the box. Headed away, though. Dangerous header. And they'll say it is a goal kick. So more substitutions now for Cincinnati. They'll send 2 more in. It'll be Fran Stables as well as Jenna Davler. So a lot of substitutions now in for Cincinnati. They've almost taken out their whole starting lineup with just 11 to play here in the first half.
With a beautiful day, the sun's coming right down on this turf. And the turf has a little offset coloring with that dark green and that light green, so it's just that reflection of the sun. You can get some heavy legs out there, and you need to have constant substitutions to have everyone ready for just the last 11 minutes of play.
It is beautiful weather, 75 degrees here in Cincinnati today, here in October. But as you were saying, definitely want to get fresh legs out there the whole game. Houston seemed to just do it all at once, though. They had 5 people come in at once. Houston gets a throw-in again on Cincinnati's side of the field. It'll go out of bounds, however, and that'll be a Houston throw-in. Stables will throw it in for Cincinnati. Weber was trying to steal possession momentarily. Now they're going to start to press some of these new bench players. Now this can be a little dangerous for Cincinnati with some of these more younger players. If they start getting pressed a little bit, the pressure might get on. They might make a mistake or two. Stables will send it in, though. Fighting for possession here on this near sideline, and now a foul will be called. It will be Houston with the free kick. Cincinnati coaches didn't like the call. It was right in front of them, but referees trying to explain their judgment on the call. So free kick for the Cougars. They'll send it in. Houston tried to make something happen, but Cincinnati will steal it away. And now here's a big push for Cincinnati. It was Vianney Spalding who was on the run. She got it ahead of the Cincinnati's offense once again. So Houston will control it. Anna Reza has possession. She'll send it over to Ramsey Davis. Cincinnati pressing a little bit now. Under 10 to play in this first half. Has been no scoring to this point. 7-1 in shots, however, for Cincinnati. They have been making their goalie work for Houston quite a bit in this first half. Houston taking their time with it. They're possessing the ball a little bit more in the second part of the first half. Trying to make a bit of a run. They'll cross inside the box, but good defense by the Cincinnati back line. They'll just clear it out back to midfield. Houston still has possession of the ball, though. Vianney Spalding trying to defend that far sideline for Cincinnati. And it is poked away by the Bearcats. And now a foul will be called on Houston. A bit of a wraparound with the arm, and it'll be a Cincinnati free kick.
This is a chance for Cincinnati to try and put something together with 8 minutes left. Freshman goalie for the Cougars, and Maggie Manning, just getting her first start 3 games ago. She has already been tested with 7 shots by the Bearcats.
We'd like to see the Bearcats go on a bit of a run here at the end of the first half. But both teams have kind of been just kind of complacent so far. Cincinnati on a bit of a run. It gets put right back down to the Houston goalkeeper. Some pressure being applied by Anna Barber, though. Here comes Cincinnati. Back to Anna Barber. Great chance. She sends it in. Oh, and it gets toked away. Still a chance, but it gets cleared out. Good chance, though, by the Cats once again. They had a lot of people in the box. The ball was bouncing around a little bit. Cats still maintain possession. Anna Barber, the new substitute, had a great chance at goal, but she decided to pass into the middle of the field. Barber has it in the box again. Another great chance for Cincinnati, and it's a great goal. Ashlyn Bassinger puts it in. It's her first goal of the 2024 campaign, and just like that, the Bearcats have went up 1-0 here this afternoon.
Bassinger able to put her right foot into it and slide it into the left corner of the goal right by Manning. As that's the first goal after 8 shots for the Cats to give them a 1-0 lead with 7:08 left to play in the first half.
Excuse me, that was my mistake. That was actually Paige Miller, number 29, but she was a new substitute. Also her first goal of the 2024 season. And a great goal by the Bearcats with 7:08 to play in the first half. Finally break the net in this game. You can tell the Cincinnati bench loving it from their teammate. First goal of the season for Paige Miller. She's a senior out of Evansville, Indiana. It was her 8th career goal, her first of the 2024 season. And a foul call now on Houston, trying to get something going. 8-1 in shots now for Cincinnati. And they've been pressing all day. It seemed like eventually something was going to find the back of the net, especially on a redshirt freshman. So Cincinnati and Houston fighting once again at midfield. Cougars have it, and then sent away by Cincinnati. It will be a throw-in for the Bearcats. Actually, Houston will possess it at midfield. 6 to play. Spalding trying to get something going for the Cats once again. 1-0 our score here at Gettler. That ball sent on, and that will be a Cats throw-in. Oops will throw it over at midfield. Cats have it once again. And now a foul call, and I didn't really see what happened at midfield, but a Bearcat is down. Can't really see who it is. It is directly all the way across on the far sideline for Cincinnati with 5:51. Play will stop momentarily.
I believe that's Oobs who's on the ground.
Yet to see a number for the Cats. And now she seems to get to her feet, and that's great news for the Bearcats. So play will start momentarily. 5:51 to play in the first half. 1-0 Bearcats. Cincinnati with their first lead since last week against Kansas State. And now Cincinnati will start play once again, and here come the Cats. Spalding has it in Houston territory. She's going to try to make a move into the middle of the field. Houston defender falls down. Ball's popped up, though. Good chance for, oh my goodness, a high kick right to the Houston's defender's face. That obviously not intentional. That was a bit of a scary play there, and she'll actually get a yellow card. It'll be Ashlyn Bassinger with the yellow card for Cincinnati. Kind of just a unfortunate situation there. She was trying to kick the ball to try to get play started, but she connected with a Houston defender's face. I haven't really seen that before.
It's a dangerous game out there on the field.
Can be sometimes. That was a bit of a scary situation, but play gets started once again after the yellow card penalty for the Cats. Houston just trying to get into the Bearcats zone as it's stolen away once again. And now a bit of a run, 3-on-4. Ball gets tapped up, and Houston possesses it at midfield, so they're going to go on a run of their own. Ball almost got through. Great defense, though, by Cincinnati. Paige Miller, the lone goal scorer so far today, possessed the ball momentarily. Cincinnati gets the ball back, though. 4 minutes to go. Stolen away, though, by Houston. Bit of a dangerous territory now. She makes a move. Good defense, though, by Cincinnati again. Their back line has just been a brick wall so far today. So Barber back on the far sideline for Cincinnati. Good move. She'll get inside. Now another dangerous opportunity for Cincinnati. That ball goes right through, though, straight to the Houston goalkeeper. Joffrey had the shot on goal. Stolen away, though, by the Cats again. They'll possess it in Houston's third. Anna Barber has it on our near sideline. She gets it back to Emma Schwartzer. Midfield, Houston trying to win the ball back. 3:40 to go in this first half. Joffrey gets it up. Ashlyn Bassinger trying to make something happen. Through ball is up, was looking for Fran Stables to go on a bit of a run, but it got tipped away and stolen away by Houston. So now the Bearcats defense tries to get the ball back once again. Houston kicks it out of bounds, and it'll be a Cincinnati throw-in once again. Houston's coach clearly frustrated with the way his team has played so far in this first half. Seems just kind of lackadaisical right now for the Cougars. Barber has it stolen away, but through ball looking for Paige Miller. It'll be a Cincinnati throw-in. So Schmetchler will throw it in for the Cats. Ashlyn Bassinger tried to get the ball to Paige Miller. Substitutions now for Houston.
You can see out on the field that these girls are physically tired. The sun is coming down. It is hot. It's getting up close to 83 degrees out there on the pitch, and neither team has given up yet. With 2:13 left to play in the first half, score 1-0 in Gettler Field, where the Bearcats are defending their home turf.
Casey Maddox will check in for the Houston Cougars, new substitute for them. It is definitely getting hot out there. You can tell Houston is tired. They had an aggressive game plan coming into the game. So Cincinnati trying to win it back. Anna Barber tried to get it for Cincinnati. Houston, though, controls it in their own end again. Minute 20 to go in this first half. 1-0, Bearcats lead. Throw in for Houston with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go in the Bearcats' end. See if they can get maybe a late half goal here in the first half. Haven't really gotten anything going in this first half so far. It's kind of, the scouting report's kind of been exactly on point about this Houston team. This has not been able to get the offense going. They have done a good job, though, other than the 1 goal allowed, preventing Cincinnati to go on many runs. I mean, they have possessed the ball a lot, but they haven't really got in the box too many times. Anna Barber, though, making a move. She'll get it up to Cincinnati. Jenna Davler will send it into the box. Good through ball, tapped around, but Houston will control it.
Maggie Manning, the goalkeeper for Cougars, has had her work cut out for her today with 9 shots by the Bearcats, and 1 going in the back net just in the first half.
She sure has. Nine shots already faced, and now Cincinnati, a bit of a run, gets tapped away though by the Houston back line. 3 seconds to go, and that'll send us to halftime here at Gettler Stadium. It has been a bit of a defensive-oriented game so far. 1-0 is our score at halftime. And KC, what are some of the things that you have seen by both these teams so far, and maybe some things that each team can improve on heading into the second half?
You have to compliment the back line of the Bearcats, only allowing 1 shot in that first half. They have been up closer where they are able to only have 3 people back there and move one up to play midfield and kind of work more of an attacking stance against the Cougars. Now for the Cougars, they need to really just find something, find some motivation and get something into the back net. We've seen a few chances, just it's getting to them. It's a little physical, it's a little hot out, and they are not having the fresh legs and stamina. We've only seen a few subs where the Bearcats have actually put in almost in a completely new team and have been able to capitalize on that.
Absolutely. And I think for Houston, going in the half, what their coach is probably telling them to do is you have to make the right passes to get that offensive push. We haven't really seen the precise passing as Cincinnati's kind of had in that first half, and we saw it, they got in the back of the net. But Houston now, I mean, Houston's been outscored 1-17 now after that goal by Cincinnati in Big 12 play. Just 1 goal through 6 matches so far. I guess 5.5 you can say, as we still have another half to go. But 1-0. Bearcats lead it here at Gettler Stadium. We will be taking immediate timeout for halftime, but stay with us here on Bearcast Media.
Welcome back to a beautiful day here in Cincinnati, home of the Bearcats on Gettler Field, where the Cincinnati Bearcats are leading the Houston Cougars 1-0. I'm Casey Stevens. Alongside me is Jack. Jack, going into this game, we expected the Bearcats to come out hot, but not this hot.
Yeah, the Cats, we said it pregame, one of the biggest things they needed to do was score that goal in the first half, get up early, and let the defense do the rest of the work, and they did that. Paige Miller scoring with about 5 minutes to go in that first half, and we saw it a lot in the first half. The offense has been very, very good. 9 shots on goal to just 1 for the Houston Cougars. And for the Cincinnati Bearcats, you're up 1-0. You need this win bad. This Houston team has not gotten anything going on offense. And if I'm Cincinnati, I'm dropping all the defense back. I'm letting the back line do all the work, and hopefully they can pull out the win here at Gettler.
Their back line was very strong in the first half, only allowing 1 shot from the Cougars. And we have continued to see Oobs, number 4 for the Bearcats, stand out on that back line, able to work up and even work her way up and move the ball almost into the opposite side of the field and into the back net for herself.
And the Oobs has been all over the field today. No Felton in the starting lineup today for Cincinnati. She, honestly, she's not in uniform today. I'm not sure what's wrong. I honestly just put her out there at that point. But it sucks not to have your leading scorer on the team not out there. But luckily, this is probably a game that she could miss, and it would be all right in Big 12 play. Houston most likely at this rate going to be one of the bottom teams in the conference, already at 0-5 and down early here in this game. But a whole nother half of soccer to go here at Gettler today as we're about to get underway in the second half.
Yeah, for the Cougars being 3-7-1, 0-5 in Big 12 play, and on the road they are 2-3, where the Bearcats at home are 4-2-1 with a record of 5-6-1. But as the second half gets underway, these teams flip sides as the Cougars are going to have possession on the far side of the field. Quickly kicked out of bounds by Baston for the Cats. Far side throw-in for the Cougars for Gonzalez. Quick throw, as that one's going to have possession all the way over to Schletzmutter. Quickly back over to Jeffrey for the Cats. Sends this one in Cougars territory. Solowski puts her foot on it, loses it, as that one's going to be sent out of bounds. Quick throw-in for the Bearcats.
Bearcats are kind of just ignoring my advice for them in the second half. They're already applying pressure, trying to get that second goal early. I see Sadolski already forcing that throw-in on that last possession. She's doing a great job at applying the pressure here in the second half.
Sadolski into Flower. She works around on the near side of the corner, sends that one out. I believe a corner kick will be rewarded on the near side of the field for the Bearcats. 1-0 is the score here with 43-44 left to play in Gettler Field. Take the kick is going to be Rhea. Short kick in to Fowler. She works her way around the defenses over to Rhea. Ball kicked into the middle of the box. Header as that one's in for the Bearcats. Quick goal. Easy goal for Erin Coleman out of North Carolina as she puts that one into the back net. 43-24 left to go. 2-0 is the score for the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Great header off of a great pass by Bastion into the middle of the field. And the Bearcats already up 2-0 on Houston early in this second half. Big time goal there for the Bearcats.
What more can you ask for coming out of the first half and going into the second half? Just able to get one up quickly to give them a lead of 2-0 as the Cougars are on the attack now, out of bounds. Not much communication we have seen from them as the Bearcats have been in control of this game with possession and just the lead. As Rhea tries to work her way on the near side of the field, works up into Cougar territory, tries to put it into the box, looks for another cross as the Cougars are able to corral it, sends this one upfield into the middle over to Gonzalez. Looks to her right as she feeds Kaiser. Kaiser now back into the middle over to Johnson. Johnson looks up, feeds Jimson on the right side of the field, looks to her right as she feeds it over now to Fowler. Foul's going to be called on number 11, Faith Boring out of Kentucky for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cougars are going to have a free kick here in Cincinnati territory.
Dangerous free kick now here for the Cougars. Kind of deep here in Cincinnati territory. We really haven't seen a really, really good shot on goal all day, but now a very, very dangerous free kick now for Jemison for Houston. And if Houston can possibly get a goal here to break that 0 on the scoreboard early in the second half, this could be a whole new ballgame.
And this is where Anna Rexford, the goalie for the Bearcats, is going to be tested as Jemison tries to send this one into play, as that goes right over the top right corner of the goal. Goal kick for the Bearcats.
Powerful kick there by Jemison, just put a little bit too much on it. Kind of hit it with her front toes, which had a little bit of side spin on it, looking for that right top of the corner, but Rexford not beat there as it goes over, and it'll be a free kick.
Rexford directing traffic with 41:38 left to play. 2-0 is the score here in Gettler Stadium, as we await the kick. 10 shots for the Bearcats, 2 making it into the goal. Rexford sends this one over on the near side, as that one's going to go out of bounds. And quickly, Kaiser for Houston will get on it. Near side throw in. Looks for Jemison. Down low, back to Kaiser, off her right foot and out of bounds where the Bearcats can have it. Emma Jeffrey sends it in quickly over to Sadowski. Back over to Jeffrey on the near side in their own territory. Quickly works up over to Rhea. She works her way around the midline. Sends it over to Fowler. Far side of the field now over to Oobs. Oobs has been that stellar player in this matchup on defense. She has not allowed many players to get by her and is able to continue to be the brick wall for this team as a through ball over to Flower. As that one's going to be called offsides. Cougars are going to have an offsides kick in their own territory.
Oobs has also not been out for the Bearcats a lot this game. She has been all over the field, and she's been there pretty much the whole match, and she's kind of been that backbone, as you were saying, of the Cincinnati defense.
Quick passing by the Cougars, as quickly Rhea's going to have it. Looks for the through ball over to Solowski. Feeds in now to Bastion. She works around, takes the shot with the right foot off the crossbar. And the ball goes out of bounds. Corner kick rewarded to the Bearcats, as an amazing shot by the right foot of Bastion to put that one right where Maggie Manning was not able to get it, but just the crossbar got into her way. Bastion now taking the corner kick for the Bearcats on the near side of the field. Over to Rhea. Rhea shoots this one in with her left foot, looks for the header, as the Bearcats have taken a few more shots than we have normally seen as they are continuing to attack this Houston team.
Yeah, looking for Ellie Flower on that back post there for the header, just went a little bit right of the goal. Cincinnati trying to put a third goal on the board against Houston, which that pretty much would be the ball game. If they get a third goal with this, Houston offense has not been able to produce any sort of offensive push pretty much the whole match.
Manning, goalkeeper, looks to make something happen as the ball goes over to Jeffrey for the Bearcats in Houston territory, over to Solowski. Quickly taken away by Kaiser. Short passing over to Witchcraft. Ball in no possession as it's still in Houston territory, as Smith for the Bearcats is able to put her foot on it. Over now to Jeffrey as she's working on the near side of the field. Works with her left, tries to switch it to her right. Looking for something to happen. Sends it now over to Love. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars.
I like this offensive consistency, though, for the Cats. They continue to push this back line of Houston, which they definitely have to be getting tired at some point. They've been getting absolutely pressed this whole match. 11 shots for Cincinnati on this back line and on this goalkeeper.
Foul called on Clara Rhea out of Ontario. Quick passing over to Boring. Now over to Rexford, the goalie for the Bearcats. Sends this one to the near side. Over to Jeffrey. Tries to shoot this one into the gap as that one's going to go out of bounds. Quick throw in now for Kaiser and the Cougars. waiting for her teammates to move around on the pitch. Directs traffic as she calls over one of her teammates. Ball's going in now to Johnson. Johnson loses possession quickly as she regains it for the Cougars. An attack possibly coming for the Cougars in Cincinnati territory as they retreat. Look to make something happen on the opposite side of the field. Far side now. Works over to Falkers. Jimison now as the ball's going to be up in the air. Neither team has possession in Cincinnati territory. Attack now for the Bearcats. And Bastion looks up as quick passing. Cincinnati not able to make something happen on that attack as that's going to go out of bounds and a goal kick for Manning. 36:48 left to play, 2-0 here in Gettler Stadium, home of the Cincinnati Bearcats. Manning goes short here, over defending. Ball taken away as Smith for the Bearcats looks to her right, has an easy shot with the right foot as Bastion's not able to capitalize with another shot on the board for the Bearcats. 12 shots to just the sole one for the Cougars.
Smith made that play happen, winning that ball back right across that 18-yard box for the Bearcats. Set up Bastion for a great opportunity, but just didn't quite get enough on it. Just went just left of the post.
Manning puts this one into play as first touch hasn't been capitalized on for either team. Ball's still up in the air as Jeffrey tries to shoot this one down. Looks to her right, looks to her left, not able to make anything happen as Schmelzer puts one on. Smith now for Cincinnati on the attack in Cougar territory. Sends it off over to Bastion, works with her right, sends it now back over to Schmelzer. Looks down to Smith in Cougar territory around the 18 on the far side of the field, sends it in, and another goal as Fowler is able to head that one into the back net, makes the lead 3-0 at 35:34 left to play for the Cincinnati Bearcats.
What a goal by the senior captain, Ellie Flowers. She just put her head on it just barely, and it was a great pass and setup as well. And how about this Bearcats offense coming out in this second half, and they've quickly put 2 goals on the board with 35-34 to go in the match. And it seems like everyone's starting to get a little bit of a taste here tonight against this Houston defense that's starting to crumble a little bit. They've already given up 2 early in the second half. It's now 3-0, and the Cats have 12 shots to the Houston's lone 1.
And we're going to continue to see substitutions for this Cougars team, trying to get some fresh legs out on the field as you are down 3-0. But this game is not over yet. 35-32 left to play in this game, and you didn't make something happen. You've had a few chances. You are just not able to break this strong defense of this Big 12 Cincinnati team. Quick throw and now over to Solowski. Solowski works into the middle of the field in Cougar territory over to Bastion. Bastion on the far side of the field, works with her left foot, back into the middle. Looks to her right, goes over to Schmelzer. Sends it now over to Jeffrey. Works up from her midfield position, into the middle of the field with her left foot. Back over to Fowler. Back over to Jeffrey on the near side of the field in Cougar territory. Looks to her right, not able to make something happen. She's going to retreat. It's over to Swingle. Far side pass now over to Oobs. Works around her defender, looks for the through ball as neither one is able to have it as Houston's on the attack now. Strong defense for the Bearcats as they are able to stop anything from happening. Looks over to Jeffrey. Near side of the field, tries to make something happen as the ball is taken away quickly by Johnson. Johnson looks into the middle for Kaiser. She puts it with the left foot. Not able to capitalize as that's the first save for Anna Rexford.
Good chance there for the Cougars to try to break this shutout, but a nice easy save by Anna Rexford. A good defense by Houston to win the ball back there, and really the first real opportunity for a goal for the Cougars all day as Rexford gets her hands on it and she'll kick it away.
You don't want to give up this clean sheet that they have already put up with 33 minutes left to play. Anything can happen, but Rexford has really had a easy day for her. Only 2 shots, hasn't had much action. That's the first action we've seen since the 14th minute in the first half.
Yeah, the Cincinnati back line has just been playing absolutely phenomenal the whole game. They've been making Anna Rexford's life pretty easy back there. She's just been kind of sitting back there, controlling that defense, but really hasn't been able or haven't been able to make any saves, really.
As on the attack is the Cougars as they shoot this one into the middle of the gap. Foot on it, and that's a goal for the Houston Cougars. It's Juliet Moore out of Dallas, Texas, able to put her left foot into it and past Anna Rexford.
And I'm not going to say it, but I think that was definitely the announcer's curse right there. That goal just quickly squeaks through. Nice shot by Houston, and they finally break that shutout.
This is, what, their first goal in how many games?
I believe it's been, I think, 3 or 4 games. They got shut out by, I think, Kansas State 2 games ago. But, yes, only the second goal in Big 12 play this season, and it's 3-1 now. Bearcats still lead it by 2, but just unfortunate there by Anna Rexford. Ball kind of just got around, and it was an easy goal for Houston.
Their last goal came against the TCU Horned Frogs when it was a Hawaii night, a 1-3 loss for them, as the only goal came from Juliet Moore, the sophomore midfield, as they are on the attack once again. These fresh legs that the Cougars have put in is making the Cincinnati back line be tested. Hard-fought battle. This ball's over to Kaiser. Kaiser now on the near side of the field, tries to work it inside of the 18, shoots it in. Is this another chance for the Cougars? Back line for the Bearcats is able to stand still. They need to get this one out of play or make something happen. Shoots it now out of bounds. Throw in for the Cougars.
You can start to sense the momentum shifting a little bit here with about 30 minutes to play. Houston's playing with a little bit more of efficiency so far in these last couple of minutes. They're putting the pressure on the Cincy back line that they really haven't seen it all day. And Houston's starting to make a little bit of a pursuit of possibly a comeback. They're only down 2 goals. Still a lot of ball to play.
Bash it now over to Schletzmer. Tries to work something in the middle of the field. Sends it now over to Oobs. Oobs looks up. Long passes. This is a through ball for Solowski. Not able to get there as Maggie Manning, the freshman goalkeeper, allowing 3 goals in this matchup, is able to just pick that one up easily and tries to shoot this one in to the near side of the field. First to touch it is Oobs. Oobs tries to make something happen as the Cougars fight for it. Sends it now over to Kaiser. Kaiser for the Cougars works around her defender, works backwards, over to Moore. Moore now into the middle of the field. Dangerous area to pass the ball as Gonzalez, able to put up 3 shots in the last game for the Cougars, is searching for one tonight into the back net. Cougars on the attack, trying to work around as Jimison is looking for the ball. Obtains it. The leading scorer for this team, Julia Moore, has it on the far side of the field. Foul is going to be called. Possession going to be for the Bearcats.
Houston doing a better job at sprinting out the back line for Cincinnati. We saw it on the goal, and we've seen it the last couple of minutes as they've been controlling it a lot better. But Cincinnati still has possession in their own end with 30 to go.
You can tell that goal that the Cincinnati defense gave up was a momentum shifter, as they are now kind of breaking a little bit, allowing a lot more possessions to get inside of the box and really test Anna Rexford.
And it hasn't been tested much today. We saw the one free kick that went over the net. She couldn't really even have a chance with it. But after that goal, it seems that this Houston offense has been playing a lot better.
As they are on the attack now, Kaiser sends that one out of bounds. Throwing for the Cougars on the near side in Cincinnati territory. Throwing going to be Kirsten Kaiser out of Frisco, Texas. Started 16 games last year for the Cougars. Looking to make something happen as Solowski comes in for the Bearcats. Has it on the far side of the field. Works up through the through ball over to Fowler. Tries to fight this one off on the far side over Solowski. Works over but the defense for this Cougars is starting to wake up with 29:38 left to play. 3-1 here in Gettler Field. Cougars on the attack now over to Kaiser. Kaiser on the near side of the field. Tries to work around the defender of the Bearcat. Works into the middle of the field. Sends it now over in a dangerous territory. As quickly Flaukers is able to put her foot on it. Works on the far side of the field. Up now, over to Swingle for the Bearcats. Lets this one roll out. It's going to be a goal kick for the Bearcats.
Cats just trying to maintain possession, not letting Houston to go on any more runs right now. But as the ball's been definitely more in Houston's, in Cincinnati's territory most of this game. That's going to be another throw-in for Houston. They've just been pressing a lot more, and I don't know if it's the back line just hasn't been used to this pressure, or maybe it's the game plan was changed at halftime by the Cougars, but they have just played a lot better in the second half of this match so far.
You can tell that Cincinnati keeps their games close with only a one-score differential between goals allowed and goals scored. For it being 3-1, it could be something more of a closer game that we may see with only 28 minutes left to play. As for Cincinnati, Oobs on the attack now. Looks over to her right, feeds it down low over to Claire Rhea. Back over to Oobs, who's onside in the 18, tries to shoot it with her left foot. So that's kicked out of harm's way. Back over to Oobs, feeds into Solosky as no foul is called. As Cougars get out of a tough one quickly, Faith Boring goes over now, over to Bastion. Tries to work around, but foul's going to be called on the Cougars. Free kick awarded near the 1/3. And it looks to be a yellow card is going to be given to Lainey Gonzalez. She's been searching for something to happen all day and has been active on offense and defense.
I can't believe they didn't call a penalty kick on that through ball to Sadalski right inside of the box. I thought she got pushed down a little bit. The refs let it play. But then, of course, Gonzalez gets the yellow card there just a couple moments later. But now Cincinnati pressing again, once again on offense. They have a free kick in Houston territory.
The junior, Lauren Bastion out of Centerville, Ohio, will be taking it for the Bearcats. 27-49 left to play with score being 3-1. Bearcats up. Bit of confusion out there. Looks to be like the ref is just making sure everyone's in position. Bastion tries to shoot this one in and just goes over. Everyone said, and it's going to be a goal kick for the freshman, Maggie Manning.
Yeah, another free kick that just goes over everyone's heads, as it looks like Houston's going to be making some substitutions here as well as Cincinnati, as Spalding will come in as well as Paige Miller for Cincinnati. As it looks like Bastion will come out for the Bearcats, and Sadalski will also come out, as well as Ellie Flower. So some of the best offensive weapons for the Cats coming out here. It's going to be interesting to see maybe a little more of a defensive-minded changes for Cincinnati with only 27 minutes to go and a 2-goal lead.
You got to have fresh legs with only 27 minutes left to play. 2-goal lead, anything can happen. We spoke on that just 5 minutes ago where we saw the Cougars put one in on Anna Rexford, the goalie for the Bearcats. Since then, it's been really back and forth.
Most of the games, as you said earlier, have been close for the Bearcats in Big 12 play. They lost 2-1 to West Virginia. They just won their last game in the Big 12 play against Kansas State, and then they only lost to Arizona State and Arizona by 1 or 2 goals in those games. So it's been very close. It's going to be interesting to see if the Cats can finish this one out today.
And you're surprised that they took out Ellie Flower, who was the zone goal leader in the Arizona State game, where she was able to get 1 goal with 2 shots. And with 26 minutes left to play, you may just be resting her and saving her for the next games.
Could be. You also could just be resting her for the last couple of minutes of the game. But also, at this situation, you're up 2 goals. If you want to put in more defensive pieces for this team in that back line, then that's going to be a good move. As you know, you really don't need that offensive production right now, but maybe you should be resting her for the next couple of games. As without Felton, she has seen the field a bit more than usual.
Tripping foul is going to be called on Boring. Bearcats working something here as Oobs tries to work up the field over to Rhea. Rhea and Oobs have that chemistry as they're trying to make something happen. Oobs breaks away on the near side of the field, feeds in to the middle as that Spalding looks with her right foot into the box, works around her defender, trips a little bit as she's going to retreat into the corner. Ball is going to go out of bounds. Looks to be a corner kick on the far side of the field for the Bearcats.
Kind of interesting move there by Spalding, but I think the ball must have got tipped before she went out to that corner, because for a second I thought she was giving up on the play, but it works out in the Cats' favor. That's their 7th corner kick of the game. Houston's still without one today.
Claire Rhea, the transfer from UAB, to take the corner for the Bearcats. Working up is Megan Smith to her right for the short pass. Rhea looks for the long ball into the box, headed out by the Cougars. And neither team has possession. Working on it now is going to be Jordan Johnson. Johnson trying to just rip anyone off as Cougars send this one up on the near side of the field. 24-28 left to play. Score 3-1 here in Gettler Stadium. Over to Spalding for the Bearcats in Houston territory. Far side of the field. Works with her right foot. Tries to shake off her defender. Foul's going to be called on the Cougars. Bearcats have a free kick here on the 1/4 side.
Keeping that pressure on the Cougars' defense. That'll be a free kick for Cincinnati. With only 24 minutes to go, they're not really letting Houston to have any opportunities to possibly get a goal, to get one goal closer.
Faith Boring to take it for the Bearcats on the far side of the field. 23-48 left to play in the second half. Sent this one into the box as the Cougars are first to touch it. That one will be kept into play by the Cougars, trying to make something happen as they put one into the back net earlier in the second half. Working around is Jordan Johnson for the Cougars. Ball taken away quickly by Schletzer.
And you got to get back if you're Cincinnati. Obviously, I see 4 girls back for the Cats, but you do not want to risk any runs for the Cougars.
Rhea over to Smith in Cougar territory for the Bearcats. Looks for the through ball as Maggie Manning's able to pick that one up easily. A little windy here. It's the wind starting to pick up on a hot day. Feels real nice.
I was going to say, the weather's been very, very nice today, especially when you're in the first week of October. It still feels like the summer almost. It's still nice and 80, sunny, no clouds in the sky. It's been a great day for soccer. It seems also Cincinnati has kind of changed their formation a little bit. They have 5 dropping back. They still have people up attacking, but obviously way more of a defensive-minded formation in the second half. Houston is putting 4 attackers up on this free kick for Houston, but they need to try to get something going in the next couple of minutes if they want to try to make this a game.
You have to think Houston may be going for 3 in the back and 5 to play midfield and kind of just drop everyone up to make something happen. But so far, we've seen it work for them once, but Cincinnati was able to adjust quickly and not allow much else to happen as possession early in the second half really stuck with the Cougars. And since that goal being scored by them, we've only seen the ball stick with the Bearcats.
Cats have done a great job at possessing the ball, like you said, in this second half. It looks like, wow, no foul call on that, but Houston trying to fight to get the ball back, but Cincinnati has just been maintaining it and keeping that pressure on the Houston defense. They're really not even allowing their attackers to get up for a chance because they have to drop people back to prevent Cincinnati from possibly adding to their lead.
Ball's out of bounds. Far side of the field. Throwing for the Cats in their own territory. Substitutions for the Bearcats as it looks to be Fran Stables coming in for Megan Smith, and the Cougars making a handful of substitutions as well with 21:05 left to play. 3-1 the score here. Big difference in shots taken for both teams as we've seen the Bearcats have 13 shots and able to put 3 in the back net. And for the Cougars, only 2 shots, but those have been 2 tough shots and only able to getting 1 in.
It looks like a Houston player down now, as it'll almost be like a free timeout for the Cincy team. But 21 minutes to go exactly in this game. Cincinnati's done a great job in the second half, scoring goals. Obviously, they gave up the 1 goal. It was kind of a ticky-tacky rebounded goal by Houston. But for Cincinnati, you're up 2 goals with 20 to go. Hopefully you can hold on to this lead and pick up a much-needed conference win.
Absolutely. Anything to get you up those standings in conference play. You want to play for a championship, and if you can do that as early as possible and show other teams that you are a tough one to play against, that's what we've seen today in the Cincinnati Bearcat team, able to put up 3 goals, some of the most proficient playing that we have seen all season.
It has been a great game. They've played very well today so far, and their offense has looked the best that they have looked probably since their last win against Kansas State. But 3 goals scored as play will start again. Hopefully the Cats can continue pressuring this Houston team that has to be running out of gas at some point. I mean, they've been fighting to try to get back in the offensive third of the field, but they have just been having to defend. 13 shots for the Cats and 7 corners. It's just been all game.
All game, very aggressive from the Cats, as they have not given up. They have not taken their foot off the gas since the start of this game. Throwing now on the far side of the field for the Bearcats. Falding. As Cincinnati's trying to work up the far side of the field. Long pass now into the box, as Maggie Manning is going to lose it as quickly as no one is able to put anything up together but Emma Schmetzler trying to put something in, goes off the hands of the goalkeeper.
Dangerous,
corner.
dangerous right there. The redshirt freshman ran in to Schmetzler. The ball got loose. She had a chance to put it in, but great defense by that Houston back line. A big heads-up play to make sure to deflect it out, and it was pretty much an open goal. That would have been a heartbreaker for Houston.
Long ball into the box. Cincinnati able to put their head on it. Neither team able to have it yet, as Schmetzler looks to feed it into the middle. Trying to track this one down on the near side of the field. Out of bounds and throw-in for the Bearcats. It's going to be Carly Oobs out of Georgia. Looks for the long ball. Tries to feed it inside as Ashlyn Bassinger tries to chase it down. Goes out of bounds. Goal kick for Maggie Manning, and a few substitutions for the Bearcats. With 19:30 left to play. 3-1 is the score here in Gettler Stadium. Maggie Manning awaiting her teammates to move around. Clock dips down under 19. Long pass over on the near side of the field. That one goes right off the face of Anna Barber. For Cincinnati, able to put that one into play for Bassinger. This ball goes out of bounds. Throw-in for the Cougars. Throw-in for the Bearcats. Taking it will be Emma Joffrey. Looks inside of the box. Headed now as the Cougars try and send this one out of play. Joffrey, the Bearcats take it on the near side of the field. Works with her right foot. Down low now over to Boring. Boring back over to Joffrey. Looks for the through pass on the near side of the field to Barber. Barber trips up on her own feet as the Cougars have possession, trying to work something now as Gibson loses possession quickly over to Stables. Stables goes with the right foot cross. No one's able to put a foot on as the Cougars take this one away. Into the middle of the field. Neither team is able to have possession as Spalding puts a head on it for the Bearcats. Cougars retain possession. Johnson shoots this one all the way over. Near side of the field. Johnson trying to work around her defender. Can't make anything happen as she sends it over to Dydrich. Johnson works into the middle of the field for the Cougars. Sends this one with the left foot into the middle of the field in Cincinnati territory. Kicked away by that 4-back line that we've seen all day with 17:40 left to play. 3-1 is the score here in Gettler Stadium.
Seems like the first time in about 5 minutes Houston's had the ball on Cincinnati's side of the field, but quickly Cincinnati gets possession back. And they've just been so efficient today on offense, especially in the second half. Houston hasn't even had a chance to get the ball back.
Absolutely, as the Bearcats are already on the attack. Spalding on the far side of the field. Feeds this one in over to Bassinger. That one goes out of bounds. Corner kick awarded on the far side of the field for the Bearcats in Cougar territory. A lot of movement inside of the box. Everyone has dropped. Every single Cougar has dropped inside of the box, not allowing another goal. 3-1 is the lead. Ball shot in. First one to touch it is Schmetzer, and she puts it in from 20 yards out with her left foot. An amazing goal for the Bearcats to give them a 4-1 lead with 16:29 left to play.
She just wound up and fired it. Perfect shot into the top left of the goal. Honestly, nothing that the Houston goalie could do about it. It was just about perfect as you can get. The third goal in this second half for the Cincinnati offense with 16 to play. 4-1, Bearcats lead, and how good has this Cats offense looked in this second half?
This offense has had an awakening. I was not expecting this after a first half of only getting one goal up, but since that halftime, they have been coming out as hot as possible, not really making any difference, as it is still a 3-lead score for the Bearcats. 4-1, 16:29 left to play. The Cougars look, can't say defeated, but I would say physically tired.
And that last goal, pretty much, I mean, I don't want to say anything because obviously still 15 minutes to go, but pretty much almost puts it out of reach for Houston, a team that's only had 2 shots on goal all day, now down 3 goals with only 15 to play. And even the reserves for the Cincinnati team right now are getting goals. This offense overall is playing so good. And the game plan starting the second half has obviously been great from the Cincinnati coaching staff. 3 goals scored just in the second half alone.
I think knowing that you're playing a redshirt freshman in goal for Maggie Manning and the Cougars, you have to come out attacking. You need to put up as many shots as possible, and we've seen that with 14 shots. And you also have to give them credit. 9 corner kicks in this game. We've seen this Bearcats team continue to be aggressive as the Cougars are making a few changes to the lineup. But with 15 minutes left to play, this Cincinnati team is just continuing to attack, not letting the Cougars even have possession of the ball.
And Manning, she only can do so much. 14 shots, 9 corners faced. She's given up 4 goals, obviously, but this Houston defense just really can never win the ball back for this offense. It's just been consistently pressure the whole second half, but honestly the whole game has been like that. As Cincinnati sends it in, they're still trying to push for maybe a 5th goal, but it has been overall a offensive clinic so far in this game.
On the attack now is Juliet Moore. Looks over to her right to Jimison. Jimison goes into the middle of the field in Cincinnati territory, tries to feed this one over every single one's head, but the first one to put it is Jenna Davler for the Bearcats, so she sends that one out of play. Far side throw-in now over to Whitcraft. The Cougars trying to make something happen with only 14 left to play. Not much going for him with only 2 shots up and only 1 into the back net. And 3-goal lead for the Bearcats as finally the Cougars are trying to amount something by Johnson. Looks to her right over to Jimison. Feeds it with her left foot over to Moore. Moore retreats back near the Big 12 logo on the Cincinnati turf. Works with her left foot as great defense by Spalding and the Bearcats as she works on the far side of the field on that sideline. Working up with her right foot, sends it into the middle of the field. First to touch it is a Cougar. As quickly we see Anna Barber trying to make something happen. Middle of the field, neither team has possession. Cougars making something happen in their own territory, trying to work up the field. Works to the left side. Down over to Jordan Johnson. She's been very vocal and a big leader for this team. Feeds it into the middle of the field over to Maddox. Cincinnati's back line has just been unstoppable ever since conceding that 1 goal. Over to Spalding. Works on the near side. Flips it over the far side of the field for the Bearcats as she's taking it to the ground hard. Waiting for her to get up, but the Houston Cougars may take this and have an advantage here.
Yeah, a bit of an advantage being played right now with the Bearcat down. But here comes Houston now on the attack.
Jordan Johnson, bad communication between her and Jimison. As throwing for the Cougars. Substitution as well, as we're going to be seeing Kate Burgess check into the game for the Cougars. Looks to be Spalding out of Texas. Looks fine for the Cincinnati Bearcats as she's just... Excuse me. Looks like we may have another injury timeout for Spalding. Couldn't really tell what happened.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't really see what happened. Maybe, looks like she's grabbing her chest, so maybe the wind got knocked out of her or something up her body, but 12 minutes to play. Both teams will catch their breath momentarily. But overall, it's been a dominating game for the Cats. The offense has played really good. And what you said just a couple moments ago, they gave up that goal early in the second half, but the back line for the Bearcats have played phenomenal, not even letting Houston even get the ball into their third of the field. And Rexford hasn't really been tested since that early goal in the second half, as play is going to resume shortly.
Spalding coming off the field, able to walk off on her own, which is a great sign. I do believe she may have just gotten the wind knocked out of her. She had a massive collision when she tried to work up the field. It's good to see with 12:26 left to play, 41 lead. She may be able to just take the rest of the game off and sit back.
It might be the wind got knocked out of her, but it looks like she might be grabbing that left hip possibly. So maybe when she collided, something happened with that. They're probably going to take her back to the locker room and check her out, but as offsides will be called. But, you know, you never want to see that from anyone on your team.
There's the Bearcats. Free kick, near side of the field in their territory. Clock dips under 12 minutes to play. Strong kick by Faith Boring to send that one out of play. Cougars with the throw-in now. Over to Machado. Shoots this one into the gap over to Jimison. As no one for the Cougars are able to put a foot on it. Back over to Johnson. Strong passing we are seeing from this Cougars team, trying to just retain possession, as we've seen it really just be a dominant game by the Bearcats and not really turn over the ball that much. Quick turnover by the Cougars. There's amazing passing as Anna Barber looks for a long pass down the line over to Johnson. Johnson, the right wing, back to play a little bit of defense. This ball shot out of bounds, thrown for the Bearcats. 10:53 left to play here in Gettler Stadium. 4-1 is the score. The Bearcats are winning. 1 goal scored in the first half, 3 since in the second, and that one lone goal that the Cougars scored came in the second half as well, and since then the Bearcats have been on the attack. Shot by Maggie Manning, the goalie for the Cougars, over to Johnson in Cincinnati territory. Looks to make something happen after she works up. Sends it into the right foot over to Jimison. Works with her left, shoots it off the right side. No goal, as another easy day for Anna Rexford. Looks to be another substitution. Coming into the game for the Bearcats is Arthurs.
That was a good shot, though, by the Cougars on that last possession. Just went a little bit wide of the post, but if she would have been able to get that in, that would have been a pretty goal.
Absolutely. It would have also only made this a 2-goal game, but we haven't seen the Cougars really attack since then. And that was probably the best thing that they have done all game other than scoring that one goal. As ball's going to go off the foot of Cincinnati. Throwing now over to Machado. Machado looks to direct traffic, goes inside of the box to Jimison. Not able to feed her as the Bearcats back line shoots this one away. Puts it now over to Bassinger for the Cats. Works up in the middle of the field. Stables looks to her left, not able to make something happen as ball's going over to Johnson and the Cougars. Works on the near side of the field. Works with the right foot, tries for the through ball as her own teammate just falls on her own cleats. And no one's able to make something happen as this back line, we have mentioned multiple times, has just been the stronghold for this defense. 9 minutes left to play, as the Cougars are really just going for long balls and trying to make something inside of the box and make something happen.
That's kind of been their game plan all day. Through balls, trying to get up to their two leading attackers, but the passes just have not been getting through. The Cincinnati back line has been preventing all of these passes, and it's been the reason why their defense has been so efficient today.
Anna Barber sent that one out of bounds. Throwing for the Cougars. Off the head of Jeffrey. Bearcats trying to make something happen over to Stables. Down low pass to Boring. Over back to Stables as she tries to work something around. Over to Barber. Barber shoots this one over to the far side of the field. In Cougar territory. Long pass with the right foot. Looking for her header. And Maggie Manning able to put her feet down and sends this one out of harm's way. As Jordan Johnson out of Colorado for the Cougars is trying to make something happen. Throw in now for Peyton Machado. Kicked out of bounds by Emma Jeffrey. Again, Machado goes over to Jimison. Down to Jordan. Back pass to Machado. In Cougar territory over to Jimison. Some triangle passing as she's able to get around her defender. Foul's going to be called on Schmetzler. And it looks like she will be also given the yellow card with 7:33 left to play. Charlotte Richardson for the Cougars checking in as well. To take the kick be Alexis Falkers. It's a chance for the Cougars to put something inside of the box. Awaits the kick, shoots it with her right foot, curves left. These Cougars need to make something happen. Works with the right foot as Tatum McCaslin not able to put that one in and just way over the goal.
And tried to find the back of the net from about 25 yards out. And that's been really the only chances this Houston team has had, have been these really long passes or really long shots, because the back line of Cincinnati just has been so good at preventing them to get inside of the box. With only 7 to play, Houston has just been absolutely shut down by Cincinnati in this match so far.
As Claire Rea tries to make something happen, feed it over to Arthurs on the far side of the field. Works with her right foot into the box. Looks right. Takes the long curve shot and shoots that one way away from the goal.
Good opportunity there for Arthur to substitute, but way right. As you said, not really a great chance, but Bearcats up to 15 shots in 9 corners on the day. It has just been so proficient all day for the Cats on offense, and they're still pressing, even with just a couple minutes to go and a 3-goal lead, still trying to find more.
Jada Arthurs checking in 5 minutes ago, has already taken 1 shot, tries to work around her defender once again. She goes for the through ball, but Anna Barber not able to get there as ball goes out of bounds. Goal kick for the Cougars once again. Maggie Manning, the freshman, for the Cougars to take it. Looking for the deep ball, sends this one over to Jordan. Jordan tries to put her foot on it as the Bearcats take it away quickly. Arthur falls down, looks to be a free kick awarded for the Bearcats in Cougar territory, roughly 30 yards out.
Arthurs has done a good job since coming in, being very aggressive on offense, and she draws the penalty there for the Bearcats. So another free kick here for Bastion and the Cats offense with 5 to play.
Lauren Bastion with 5:34 left to play, 4-1 in Gettler Stadium. Takes it with the right foot, tries to just swoop this one in. Header goes to the far side of the field, out of bounds. Throwing for the Bearcats.
Might have went off the outside of her foot there. Couldn't quite get all the power on it, and it kind of went away from the Cincinnati attacking front line, but Cincinnati still have its possession in Houston's territory.
Long throw in as the Cougars try and corral it. Arthur's fighting all the way over from her left wing spot on the right side of the field. This one goes out of bounds. Goal kick for the Cougars. Maggie Manning attempting to go quick here as half of the Bearcats team was on the right side of the field. Manning tries to feed this one over to Jordan. First one to touch it to Jimison for the Cougars. Shoots this one out of bounds. Throw in now for Jeffrey. Jeffrey goes for a short pass over to Bassing. Shoots this one over to Arthur. Manning comes out of her goal box to get this one. 4:22 left to play. 4-1 is the score. Manning shoots this one with her right foot off the punt. First one to touch it is the Bearcats. Taken away by Bastion. Looks to her right, over to Swingle. Swingle shoots this one over to Rexford, the goalie. Cincinnati territory. Over to Jeffrey. Near side of the field. Down low over to Rhea. Shoots this one over to Arthur. Has a chance for the Bearcats. As neither team is giving up yet. Maggie Manning is getting pressured by the entire Cincinnati team as they come up. 8 players up on offense. Working around her defenders, clear Rhea. Cougars retain possession as they are trying to get around this tough, aggressive attack by the Bearcats. Throw now for Peyton Machado and the Cougars. Looks for Jimison. Tries to work around the Bearcats as that's out of bounds. Machado comes in for another throw-in. 3 minutes left to play here. She has Jordan for the short, goes for Jimison on the long. Not able to connect with either one as the Bearcats take that one away quickly. Is boring.
Cats starting to drop a little bit more back with only 2 minutes to go. They can sense that this match is finally almost over, and they are going to be claiming their second conference win of the 2024 campaign.
Bearcats can hold the ball here for the next 2 minutes as it's pretty much guaranteed a win for them. 4-1 lead. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in Cougar territory for the Bearcats. As you can take your time here, we've seen an amazing play from the Bearcats in this game, really defending their home turf very well. First half, I'd say, would be a little sloppy.
Yeah, in both offense and defense looked all right in the first half, but they really came out scorching hot in the second half. They scored 3 goals. They've just been keeping the pressure on. They really haven't been conservative, which is what I really thought the game plan was going to be by the Bearcats, is just kind of lay back there, play good defense, and hold on to the win. But they just kept attacking. And I think that's what kind of led them to obviously the victory today, is they just kept applying pressure on a redshirt freshman in goal. And they got some really big goals from key bench players. Honestly, it really hasn't been the storyline players other than Ellie Flower getting a goal today that have found the back of the net. There's a lot of talent that came off the bench in the reserves that found the back of the net on offense. As there's only about a minute left in the game, Bearcats lead by 3 as Houston gets a throw-in. But overall today, it's been a really, really well-played match for the Lady Cats, getting their second conference win of the year.
Absolutely, and doing this all without their goal-leading scorer, Riley Felton, out with no idea with what happened to her. She did not dress for this game, but having a 3-goal lead against the Cougars has Jemison on the attack now. There's not much you can do with 38 seconds left to play, as the Bearcats could just hold this ball, really kick it as far as they want to from the Cougars as that goes out of bounds.
Yeah, no, Felton, we didn't know what we were going to expect on offense, as not having a leading scorer, especially in a Big 12 game, would definitely be tough. But other players stepped up. We talked about Oobs a lot today. Overall, she played really well today, controlling the pace. I think Sadolski, who stepped in for Felton today, played well. Ellie Flower played well. I mean, this whole defense played well, as time will tick away, as the Bearcats will win it 4-1 today here at Gettler Stadium. But overall, dominant win for the Cats, as they will get their second conference win of the season.
Absolutely. The Cincinnati Bearcats put on a show today. As for this Cougars, they have to continue conference play on October 10th. They will be traveling all the way over to Iowa and take on the Iowa State Cyclones. That will be a tough game as well. Or excuse me, that will be the Cincinnati Bearcats. Well, that will be a tough game, as it's going to be a little difficult for them. And then on the flip side, Oklahoma State for the Cougars is who they're going to be taking on next in Stillwater. Both of those games will be something to look at.
Absolutely. It's been a great game to watch today. The Cats win it 4-1 here at Gettler Stadium. From Jack Ritchie and KC Stevens, thanks for tuning in on Bearcast.